Good morning. Good morning, family. It is Friday, TGIF. Good morning. I am Shay Cannon of Shay Cannon Publishing, and I help go-getter experts to write and publish their first book. And I do that by providing coaching and support through the writing process, as well as Amazon bestseller publication services. So that's who I am and that's what I do. Now let's talk about this Before You Write campaign that we did all this month of December. So all December, we were doing things and giving you tools and giving you tips and giving you information and getting you ready to write your first book. That's what we've been doing. So if you hit that hashtag Before You Write, you have more video trainings like this one, okay? So I want you to go back and check them out. But more importantly, I need you to join the Facebook group, Cannon Content Cafe. In that Facebook group is so much stuff already waiting on you. I don't really do email marketing. I don't have you opt in and then I keep emailing you every day just so that you can get some value, or you can get this tip list or this, how to do that or that worksheet. That's not quite how I operate. So all of my stuff is in my Facebook community. Go find Cannon Content Cafe, okay? Join that Facebook group and everything is already there waiting for you. Now, let me tell you right now, you need to go because I have some things in there from this particular campaign, the hashtag Before You Write campaign. Those things will be disappearing. Today is the last day of this campaign, and so that stuff is not going to stay in there. So go ahead and go today. If you've been procrastinating, you haven't joined the group, you haven't gone and downloaded your worksheets, your lists, your tips, please go get that. Go get that now. There's also in there now for free an ebook on 30 plus ways to find time to create content and write your book. Okay? 30 plus ways to find time. Now, you put anything else after that sentence. 30 plus ways to find time to whatever. Those ways will help you regardless of what you need to do, whether it's write a book, whether it's find more time for you, whatever. Those 30 plus tips will help you. So go get that. Even if you think you're not ready to write your book yet, go get that ebook while it's free. Another ebook and resource that's in there. There's an ebook that has 100 plus websites to get free stock photos. Free. Okay? If you have to create any kind of social media content, even things like your book covers, okay? Anything that you got going on, you're probably going to need some pictures. You don't want to go to iStock and all those places and have to pay for them. I'm giving you 100 plus websites to go and get free pictures. So that's not 100 pictures. It's 100 plus websites with probably over 100 pictures each. Okay? So go get that resource. That is in Cannon Content Cafe. You can't miss out on this stuff, guys. Even if you feel like you're not ready, go get what you need so that you have it when you are ready. Okay? Now, Before You Write campaign. So we've been talking all month. Every Monday, every Wednesday, we introduced a new topic. And on Fridays, we had a Q&A and a wrap-up. So today is Friday, but it's the wrap-up of the entire month, of the entire campaign. Let's talk about some things we've talked about. Your ideal reader. Who are you writing for? Okay, we talked about that in the very first training. There's a worksheet to help you to figure that out. If you are in business, your ideal reader is the same as your ideal client. If you don't know who you're selling to, go get that worksheet. It's the same thing. Who you're talking to and who you're selling to, same person, okay? Same thing. Go get that, all right? People are paying bunches of monies in different coaching programs just to figure out who they're supposed to be selling to. Go get that. It's free, all right? Go get it now while it's still in there and free. All right, we talked about your author platform. A lot of people try to write their book and then try to find people to buy their book. Well, if you are building your author platform all along before you start to write, by the time your book is ready and published, you already have people to sell to. You already have people waiting to buy your book. Find that training about author platform. Go get the resource that's in the Facebook group about the author platform, okay? Another thing that we talked about, your book outline. A lot of people write books without an outline. That's fine. I just wrote one last night without an outline. It's a quick ebook. However, most books need an outline. You need to know what you're going to do. You need to know what the beginning, the middle, and the end is, and you need to know how to transition from the beginning to the end. That's what an outline is for. There's no writer's block when you have an outline, okay? Every time that your busy self sits down to write, you know exactly what you're writing. You know exactly where you left off, and you know exactly where you're going next. That is the importance of a book outline, okay? So there's a resource for that in the group, Canon Content Cafe. Go get it. Next thing we talked about was how to capture your brainstorms. Have you ever noticed that when you're trying to do something that's a long-term project, you start thinking about the ins and outs of that project away from working on that project? Okay, same thing with the book. Okay, so when you're writing a book and you're thinking about more detail all throughout the day, things are going to come to you. Well, it's important that you have a way to capture those things. Go find that training on collection, okay? Go find it, because there's even a resource to help you to collect things and thoughts and put them in a cohesive manner in the group. Go find that training, go to the group and get the resource, okay? How long should a book be? As long as it takes for you to get the information out. As long as it takes for you to tell your story. Good morning, Michelle. So how long should your book be? Don't worry about the number of pages. Write the book and then see how many pages it is when you're done. Okay? So if you're worried about, is it a short story? Is it a novella? Is it a novelette? Is it a novel? Okay, don't worry about that. Write the book and then we'll see how long it is when you get to the end of the story. Okay? KISS, keep it simple. When you're teaching, when you're telling a story, you have to keep it simple. It does you no good to talk over your reader's head. It does you no good to be an expert who's supposed to help other people and you're not able to explain it in a way that they understand and comprehend. Keep it simple. The legalities of writing. I ran into this today with somebody using pictures without permission. That is against the law. You can get sued. Okay? You can get sued because you don't have the right to use people's pictures just because you want to. Okay? Yeah. You can get sued. You will get sued. Okay? So that was one of the legalities we talked about. We talked about defamation. We talked about right of privacy. And we talked about right of celebrity. So go find that training. Okay? Standout content. Okay, most of us who are coaches, most of us who are experts in business, we are in business on a subject matter that is taught by a lot of people. Okay, it's not uncommon, it's not unique. Even though we may be niched in an area, somebody else may be niched just like us. There are ways to still make your content and your book information to stand out. Okay, the difference between what you're doing and what everybody else is doing is you. It's you. You're the difference. So you have to find ways to infuse yourself into your book, to infuse yourself into your social media content. So go find the training, standout content. Okay, find out. The next training, wear one hat at a time. In that training, we talked about doing one thing at a time. I cannot tell you how many people I meet who have a book cover and haven't written a book, or they're trying to edit as they write. So, of course, they never really quite get finished because they're always self-correcting and they get caught in a cycle of perfection. Okay. And so it's never perfect enough to continue. Okay. If you're writing, write. Don't worry about spelling. Don't worry about punctuation. Write your book to the end. You don't understand. That is the most important part. All this other stuff is not even important because you will never get to do it if you don't write your book. Okay? So a book cover is cute. You got your book cover. I mean, I know that's the fun part, but you haven't written the book. So you may never ever even use the book cover. Write the book. Okay? That's what I want you to do. So that training was actually, I think it was wear one hat at a time. Get support for what you're doing. Get yourself around like minds. If you're in business, if you're an entrepreneur, get around other entrepreneurs. If you're writing a book, get around people who are writing and creating. These types of things keep your juices flowing. It keeps you in the right frame of mind. Being supported and feeling supported helps you to go a long way. So what you have to do is get around people who are doing what you're doing, or people who are where you want to go. Okay, because these influences help you to be better and they help you to make your goals and get things done. So support. Okay, support can be found in my group, Canon Content Cafe. Join my group. Okay, I'm going to support you. I'm going to surround you with other people. They're coming in there for the same things you're coming in there, like minds. Okay. Now, I think the last thing that we talked about is what I don't want you to do. And so some of that kind of goes into the wear one hat at a time. Okay, but I've been getting questions lately about like the big publishing companies versus small publishing companies. My publishing company is a little different, okay, because I help you to self-publish. So when you publish your book, it will be under your name or under your company. I simply do the work for you, or I simply coach you through the process, let you know what you need to do, or provide services for you. Okay, so that's what my publishing company does. But you have a lot of publishing companies out there. You have a lot of companies out there who are overcharging you for things that they're not even doing. Okay, they're outsourcing the work, they're outsourcing the editing, they're outsourcing the formatting, they're outsourcing your book cover. They're not really getting this stuff done, and you're paying double the cost, because what happens, they have to pay them and still make a profit. And then they put their name on your book as the publisher. Okay, and then you don't have access to your Amazon account. So when it comes time for you to want to reorder books, you got to reorder through them. So you don't even know what the price of your own wholesale book is. All you know is the price they told you, which of course is an upcharge. Okay, when you go to want to change your book, what if you want your book to no longer be on sale? What if you want to update it? What if you want to change the cover and have a different version of your book? You don't have access because they kept your access. Okay, so you pay more money to have less access. So if you have questions about companies, even your book fuels and your book babies, they have great prices for an all-in-one, book cover to publishing. They have great prices, they really do. However, ask them, do you have access to your Amazon account, or do you have access to their dashboard? Ask them, do you have access to your Amazon? Okay, could you go in there and change the price yourself, or do you have to do that through their dashboard, which is not direct access? Ask them that. Okay, so you just have to be careful. A lot of you are getting overcharged and underserviced. Okay, so just be careful. If you have any questions about it, you don't have to hire me. You can ask me a question. Get in my inbox, ask some questions. Okay, because the biggest thing about paying traditional publishing companies, you don't pay them. They pay you. Okay? They pay you a certain amount for the rights of your book. Now, in exchange for that, they get a lot of control. That's why I became a self-publisher, because I don't want to give control of my book up. I don't want you to tell me when my book is coming out, if it's coming out, what the cover is going to look like, what part you're going to take out, what I got to add to it. That's why I self-publish. That's why I'm a self-publishing advocate. Okay? But along with self-publishing comes the responsibility of marketing, the responsibility of your legal stuff. Okay? If you go with a big publishing house, and this is a huge difference, guys, so listen, okay? Because see, a lot of these smaller publishing companies, they're not giving you the benefit of paying somebody. Okay? Because when you go with a publishing company, you're supposed to be legally protected. Okay? And you're supposed to have marketing. Okay? That doesn't mean you don't still market your own book, but it means they're supposed to supply you with some marketing, some things that you can't do yourself. I don't mean a flyer, and I don't mean no doggone bookmarks. That's not what I'm talking about. You can do that yourself. Okay? So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, can they open doors for you to get in front of people that you wouldn't have been able to get in front of? Okay? I'm talking about when you finish selling your book to mom and them, okay? Do you have a reach past who you know because you're associated with them and because you paid them? If not, you need to look at that. Okay? You need to look at that. Another thing I want you guys to think about when you're writing your books is, what is your plan for your book? Okay, I recently shared an article about Amazon is not the best place to sell your book for everything. It depends on what your plan is. And when I ask people what their plan is, they start to tell me what their book is about. That's not your plan. That's what your book is about. Or that may be why you wrote your book. But what is your plan? What are you going to do with your book? Are you under the assumption that when you write your book and you publish it on Amazon, all of a sudden people are just going to start buying it? They don't know you. They might not buy it. Okay? Do you have an author platform? Do they know who you are? Do they know you're an expert, even if you know you're an expert? Okay? Everybody writes books. There's more to it than that. So what do you want to do with your book once it's written? Because that may dictate that you not go on Amazon. Or it may dictate that you put your book on Amazon for credibility, because everybody Googles your book and they Google it for Amazon, okay? Because I don't know if you realize, but you haven't heard of Barnes & Noble bestseller. Books A Million bestseller. Everybody says Amazon bestseller. If they're not talking about New York Times bestseller, they're talking about Amazon bestseller. Okay? So there's a reason why a lot of people publish to Amazon. However, there are some reasons why you may not want to push your audience there to buy it. You can put your book on Amazon for credibility and still sell hard copies through your website. Okay? You can still do that. You're on Amazon for credibility, but you sell them through your website and get all your profits, except, minus your wholesale for your book. So think about it like this. Going through CreateSpace for a printed book on Amazon, let's say your book is about 100 pages. That's going to run you for a paperback on CreateSpace about $2.50 per book. Okay? $2.50 per book. If you sell it on Amazon, you're paying $2.50 per book for them to print it, and you're splitting the profits. Okay? And you're splitting the profits. If you put it on Amazon, but buy your wholesale copies and push people to get autographed copies from you, everything over the $2.50 you get. Okay? So you have to know why you're doing it, because there's another thing. If you want to be able to go across the country and go on a Barnes & Noble and have book signings, if that's important for you, okay? Because that's not the only way to do it, but let's say that's important to you, to be in Barnes & Noble, then you don't go through Amazon, okay? Go through Ingram, okay? Because through Ingram, you'll still be on Amazon, but they have a buyback policy, which is what bookstores are looking for to buy your book. They want to know that if nobody's buying your book, they can send those doggone books back. Amazon doesn't do that. So you have to go through another distributor. But you have to know your why and what you're going to do. What is your end game? Okay? Because if you don't plan on being in bookstores, okay, if that's not important to you to do it exactly that way, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You can get hard copies of your book through Amazon and do a consignment contract with somebody, especially the independent bookstores. So it's more than one way to do everything. But you need to know why you're doing stuff and what you want your end result to be. Okay? Because if you're a speaker, Michelle, you're a speaker. So if you're writing books to enhance your speaking engagements, you don't have to push people to Amazon to buy your books, even though that's where you have yourself published. Get your wholesale copies. Take them with you to your speaking engagements and sell those hard copies in the back of the room. You want to sell more books like that, right? That's going to get you more speaking engagements. The more books you sell, the more following you have, that gets you speaking engagements. Now, if you've never had an Amazon bestseller book and you need one of those, that's not the best way to get there, because the copies that you buy wholesale, they don't count towards your amount to be a bestseller on Amazon. Okay? So you just have to know your why. You just have to know what you're doing and what you want your end result to be. But I want you guys to hit that hashtag before you write. I want you to get these trainings down, because I have a special announcement for you. I've already told you guys we're going to start writing these books in January 2017. We're getting these books out. I'm going to start you off small. We're going to start off with some ebooks for January. And the next campaign is going to be an ebook in 24. Ebook in 24. Now, what does that mean? That means I'm going to teach you how to write an ebook in 24 hours. Okay, so all that 30 days, it don't take all that. 24 hours. Now, depending on your schedule, you might have to break up those 24 hours. But if you got a weekend where you got an all-day Saturday, you can have a book by Sunday. So that's what we're going to do in January. You ought to be excited about that, okay? So if you have any questions about the Before You Write campaign, put them in the comments. If you're interested in the ebook in 24 campaign for January, let me know in the comments. Ebook is a great way to get started writing, because trust me, once I get you through the writing process one time, it's like riding a bike. Okay, it's like riding a bike. Now, when you learn to ride a bike, you always know how to ride a bike. You may need help if the terrain changes. You might not know how to ride a mountain bike up the mountain. You might not know how to, to do the speed racing bike. You might need help with special things, but just riding a bike, you'll know how to do that. Okay, you'll know how to do that. So just writing a book, you'll have the concept down. Trust me. So what you'll tend to get is, I say everybody has a book inside of them because they have story to tell or expertise to share. Actually, don't get scared. It's okay. People have more than one book inside of them. You have more than one book. We're just going to start with one. But what I want you to realize is once I teach you how to write the one, the rest will come. They will come. So if you write it, they will come. Okay? So guys, I'm very excited that we have ended the Before You Write campaign. Hit that hashtag, get all these trainings. Go to Canon Content Cafe Facebook group, because I need you guys to go and get those free gifts right now while they're still in there, because they're going to disappear. I've tried to kind of keep them in there all month, even though I said I was going to delete them from week to week. But I want you guys to go get them. So I don't know why you're procrastinating. Go get them. Even if you're not going to start them right now, go get them. Okay, so Before You Write ends today, and in January we're going to start with ebook in 24. So that's exciting. I can't wait to see what kind of books we come up for you guys, because it's about to go down. You're writing books in 2017. You're going to be proud of yourself, and I'm already proud of you, because you know you need to write that book. Okay, so you guys have a great day. Enjoy your weekend. Happy New Year. Okay, have a great one. And don't forget to keep living and keep learning, because life is content. Have a great day, guys.